Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and we got a new gun for the gun cabinet. And I wanted to show this and go over some stuff about it, and tell you my likes and my dislikes. We're going to try to do a trigger pull test. We're going to try to do a uh, grouping test and a sound test. But before we start, make sure you got your Trump coffee. And that sun is awful bright out here. You ain't got Trump coffee, you're wasting your time. You ain't gonna learn nothing. So the first thing I had to do, now let me give you a little history on this gun. I got it, and let me back up here in the shade a little bit so I'm not blinded. When I got it, it was a pre-owned rifle. I called Pete at AEA and asked him what he had that he needed to be parts made for, and to send me one. So he did. He sent me the Element in 25 cal with a regulated tank. Now it didn't have no magazines with it. I'm still waiting on those to show up and when he gets them. But for now, I have to use a shot tray. So there is no such thing as a shot tray for an Element. There is now. Bison made it happen. So here's what I come up with. This is a shot tray. And that fly, look at that. He just got to get in the video. Get out of here. And it slides in to the slot, and then you got a hole there on the side that the pellet goes in, just like so, just like that. Now I put it in backwards, but that's all right. So this is basically what it'll do. And it just drops it down and rolls into place. So this is the new shot tray. Then I also made a barrel band for it that holds a Picatinny, just like the T2, with the sling stud holder on the bottom, just like so, with AEA Element on it. And on the other side, yes, you know it, we gotta have Bison's name on it. So this gun supposedly weighs 2 pounds some odd ounces out of the box, but that's without the regulated tank, because the non-regulated tank is smaller and lighter. So this added a little weight to it. My scope, which is a Westlake 6x24x50 AOEG, and a sunshade on it. And now let's talk about sunshades for a minute. If you really want to be in a shady spot, check this picture out. My buddy Tim sent me that picture, and I thought that was hilarious that he done that. And, you know, because I told him, I said, you want to impress me, take every one of your sunshades and add it to your scope and see how it works. So that was a joke. But anyway, it's got carbon fiber tube here, which just it's a press fit, and this thing don't weigh nothing. And I hate to say it, but that's pretty cheaply made. But you know, it is what it is. So you slide that on with a press fit. Now I do have the um, the aluminum butt plate or butt stock coming for it, and here's what I got coming. Now the one I have coming is the blue. He's sending it. He's already sent it yesterday in the mail, UPS, with my Challenger. So I've got the adapter that goes on here for the folding part, which I'm not real interested in that folding part, but you know, I got to keep it on there. And then it's got two different ways to cock it. You can pull the bolt back and cock it that way, or you could leave that bolt in and cock it here. As you can see, it's already cocked, otherwise it'd be up here. So now I am seeing some rubbing real bad right here, and I've only shot this thing about 10 times, but there's rubbing going on right there on that carbon fiber and rubbing the paint off of it. So that's really not all that big a deal. It's smooth operating, so I do like it. Now the safety, that's another thing. The safety on this gun is backwards. Every rifle, the safety should follow a constant, what's the word? It should be the same on all rifles. Forward is fire, backward is safe. That's what I've always been taught, and I've become accustomed to that. This one's backwards. Backward is fire, forward is safe. Nope, that's got to be reversed. And it's a preference thing, simply because it's actually a safety thing. You know, most people, when they learn something, they don't want to go back and learn a different way to do the same exact thing. So other than the safety, I really don't have any problems with this gun. This thing is awesome. Now let's talk about the weight. Yeah, it's nice to have a lightweight gun, but 2 pounds some odd ounces, less than 3 pounds, is not good for me. It will throw your shots off because you're in the habit of using a heavy gun. Now, sitting on the bench, it ain't going to make that much of a difference. But when you're out freehanding, shooting, that could throw you off a little bit as far as the weight goes, because it just doesn't feel natural to have that light of a gun. This thing was put together really nice. I do like this gun. So the fill pressure on it is 3,200, and I just filled it up. So let's see, what else do we got? This is rubber, the grip is, and I like the rubber grip. And all in all, it's a pretty decent gun. Now, I had the option to send it back if I didn't like it, or keep it and pay for it. Yes, I'm going to be paying for this. Now, normally, if I do a review on a gun, I expect to get to keep that gun because advertisement is not free. So, but I don't mind doing this because I'm going to buy this gun. I like this gun. He sent me an extra tank, which is the small tank that screws right into this, or right into this, and it's the smaller tank. So this one is the regulated tank. So this is the 25 cal, and let's stop talking and go ahead and start shooting. All right, so now what we're shooting is JSB Exact King Heavy Diablo Mark IIs, and they are 33.95 grain. And pause the screen. And we're using our shot tray, so it's already loaded. Now, when we go to do the chrony, I'm going to be turning it on to start with. And when I shoot, I will read them off to you, simply because I don't have a talking one. I'd like to have a talking one, but I ain't paying no $200 and some for it either. So this one here was like 50 bucks. So now let's go ahead and shoot our first shot. Move my target here, or my coffee. So now we've got the chrony going, and let me get my scope set up here. And we're doing it 25 yards. I don't see no reason to do anything further. It will group exactly the same at 50 yards as it does at 25 yards. The only difference is you have to hold your scope 2 mil dots high in order to hit the 50 yard at the same group. So it don't make no sense to have to do 50 yard and 25 yard. 25 yards good enough to show a grouping. So let's get started. Well, it helps if I took the safety off. .647. Well, that seems low. .786. .763. .767. 767. $769. All right. So now let's do our trigger test. One pound, 3.4 ounces. Let's do that again. £1, 4.7 ounces. £1, 6.2 ounces. Pretty good trigger. All right. Now let's check out the sound. Now, you guys are going to have to take my word on this. On the sound, because I just don't have the camera set up to do that. So let's load it with a pellet, because it's going to be different if you have a pellet. And $82. All right, let's do that one more time. $82.2, both times, 82.2. So that's pretty decent. Now there's no way to put a suppressor on this unless you was to get some kind of an adapter, but I just don't see where it's necessary. I mean, for what this gun is and the price range, yeah, this is a nice little 25 caliber. Night and day to one of my recent gun reviews I tried to do and couldn't do because it just wasn't working out. So we won't say who that was. Anybody following knows who I'm talking about. But yeah, all in all, I think this is a sweet little gun. And like I said, I'm working on shot trays. I'm redesigning it. I want it like that on each side because the one I have in it is square. This is the one that I like, but I want to 45 each corner on the top here so that it kind of forms to the breech. And I'm printing one out, and inside here in the bottom where this valley, downhill valley, goes into it, at the top I had to go in the very top there, and I ain't got nothing to point at, and round that off a little bit because what it was doing was catching the pellet. And I did that. I had to change the clip from this one to this one because I hadn't done that to this one yet. So the new one is printed out so that I don't have to go in there and trim that little spot, because if you don't trim it, the skirt is bigger than the pellet head and causes the skirt to hit first, and then the weight of the head turns it sideways. So I had to trim that out in order to get it to work right. So we adjusted it in the 3D printer, and so far this one here's the better one. Now it's still a chore to load pellets. It's one of those things where, because of the design and the way that it's designed, normally the clip will have the hole in the bottom. Well, then your shot tray wouldn't have to be so tall. But because this one, the barrel hole is at the top, you got to have a pretty big shot tray in order to work, and you want it to fit in there like the clip would fit. So we're working on this, and we will be offering these for sale as soon as I get it nailed down to where all I got to do is take it off the printer, stick it in, it's ready to go. So we don't want to have to keep doing filing on it, but you may find that you have to do a little sanding somewhere, but every gun breech is different by a minute amount of, get out of here, fly, of material. So then we've got the barrel band. Now they are ready to go, and I will be offering those for sale on Bison Air Rifles and Parts.com. I'll put the link to that to my website so you can go check out what I have. And now then later we're going to do a review, or we're going to show, not really a review, we're going to show me putting the rear stock on it. Let me go ahead and shoot this. Well, it didn't read nothing. That's because there's not a pellet in. But this big boy has already taken an animal. Birds don't like this gun either. Them pest birds, they found out that this one's not nothing to shake a stick at either. But there we have it. Let me turn my crony off. I do like this gun, and like I said, I like it so well that I'm going to go ahead and pay for it. So that just fits in there nice and smooth, and you just slide it in and she's aligned. So my thoughts on this rifle, you're not going to go wrong by buying it. This is a really nice little gun. Right now I've got it weighed out at 7 pounds some odd ounces, almost 8 pounds, and I like a heavier gun. I don't like a 2-pound gun. I like anywhere from 7 to 8, maybe 9, 10, somewhere around there, because that's what I'm used to. It makes it, you feel more like you're shooting a rifle and not a baby gun. So all in all, the setup on this is really nice. I like the machining on it. The aluminum looks really nice. Yeah, this is a pretty nice gun. So I don't like the fact that I have to do that to look at my gauge. They've got to move them gauges. We teach people not to look down their barrel. Anybody that puts a gauge where you have to put your face in front of that barrel, that's a wrong move. It's a bad move. So when you're looking down the barrel, you don't want to look down the barrel, or when you're looking at your gauge, you don't want to be looking down the barrel. So you want to look at it sideways. And the gauge on this is actually sideways, almost upside down. AEA should be down here on the bottom reading straight across, so that you look at it this way. But you just kind of look at it off to the side here. That way your face is not in front of that barrel. That's the only way you can combat the problem of having a gauge where you have to look down the barrel. Anybody that would put one there is crazier than a June bug. So there you have my review on this rifle, and soon we will have the Challenger back and my butt stock for this, and we're going to do another shooting test with the Challenger and see if we can get some bigger numbers out of that. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.